Thank you all for attending. Just as a brief opening, as many of you know and were here last week, last Thursday, we had a very full house focused on communication and training. A decision was made, obviously, with the visit of the CETO, that this week we would have a second session focused on supports, but also giving the opportunity for the CETO to provide us some further guidance and an overview on how things are working from an ICTS, an OICT perspective. So thank you for all coming. I will hand over to Mumtaz to...
Thank you very much. So it's not Mumtaz, it's me. Sorry. Sorry, Mumtaz, but no, it's just to welcome you all to this town hall meeting, and thank you for coming. As Stephen has said, we have had one last week, so it's good to see interested staff coming. We are very fortunate to have today with us our colleague, the Chief Information Technology Officer of the UN, Ms. Atefe Riazi, who is here from New York to give us her support and interact here with us. I really thank her to be part of this briefing session. Before giving her the floor, I think it's good to remind all of us where we are in terms of Umoja. Less than 10 days, right, Stephen? And 9 hours or 19 hours. Some minutes and some seconds before June 1 for us, Cluster 3, which is, as you know, primarily UNON, UNEP, and Habitat. We have come a very long way to reach where we are today, and I want to use this opportunity really to thank the Nairobi Deployment Group and all those who have helped, this, who have worked tirelessly to get us where we are today. And I think of those who have been working day in and day out during weekends, holidays. I have witnessed that. And this is the result of their hard work and dedication in making Umoja happen. There are still many challenges to go, and both before going live and after the ramp up and stabilization period. Until we do business in this new Umoja land. But we always have to keep in mind why we are doing it in order to get a more effective and efficient United Nations, better equipped to deliver, the mandate according to the Charter. So it will deeply transform our work patterns, and we're really looking forward to that. But as with all ERP systems, ICT will be a key component of the Umoja solution. So I think the recently launched Unite Service Desk will therefore be very critical and, to provide service 24/7 to that. So through the 5 enterprise service desk, and we are very happy that Nairobi is hosting one of the service desk. It is a testament of the strong human and technical resources that we have here in Nairobi, and a reflection of the importance of this duty station globally. Thank you once again for coming, and I now have the pleasure to give the floor to my colleague, Ati. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I am so grateful for your hospitality. It's good to be here with you and talking about Umoja 10 days before go live. First of all, thank you for all the incredible work all of you have put in to the deployment, to the business requirements, to be in the training classes and figuring out what to do when it does go live. Some of you a lot more from a functional perspective, others from self-service perspective. So I would just want to talk about a little bit what does Umoja mean, and I think you guys asked that question. What does that mean to me? We always hear complaints about it takes too long to get something done, right? Processes take too long, and the purpose of Umoja is to make it easier, make it simpler. Now, it won't be easier and simpler day one, right? When you log in and you try to get education grant or, ask for a day off, it's going to be a little bit difficult to figure out how to maneuver in the system. But that's normal, right? Because change is a bit hard and it takes us some time to get used to new technology. But as I look around and I see everybody on their mobile devices, I see how fast we all adopt. So we are going to adopt, and we're going to adopt quickly. And you guys are going to say, why didn't you do it sooner, right? So that's what we would feel in a few months. But the incredible support that Nairobi has given to this deployment is truly remarkable. As Saleh mentioned, Nairobi is the hub for Africa. We've established it as a hub because there are lots of wonderful, smart, brilliant people here. And what you bring to this team to make it work is what brings value to the global ICT environment and global secretariat. So establishment of the regional center here, the establishment of Unite Service Desk, which means a lot of calls will come in on the IT and the business globally, not only from Africa, globally, to support means a great deal. And I am so grateful for you and certainly to Saleh, to the team, to Momtaz for agreeing to do this. The ICT strategy is being deployed. We had approval from the GA, and what it means is we're going to harmonize and consolidate a lot of the solutions globally. As a user, before you had 700 applications, and Umoja is replacing them with one. So I think you're going to see a simpler approach. You're going to see a faster approach. You're going to see more transparency. Because today when we ship a package, we can go online and see where the package is. With today's system, the systems that you have, you don't. But with Umoja, you'll have a lot better transparency, and you will have empowerment. That means you can do things yourself through self-service. So we're all looking forward to how that will work. I don't want to take too much time because I know there's a fabulous presentation here that the team has prepared with a demo of what is self-service. I encourage all of you to log in, get your password, and make sure your password is not password. So, because from IT, and I want to just put in a plug for IT security because we have mandated IT security. Please take the course. It's online. It takes 20 minutes. Please take it. It's good for you personally. It's good for you from a business perspective, from a UNON perspective. We're getting a lot of viruses and Trojans, and they want to have information about you. They want to know what's your password. They want to know what's your banking information. So to protect yourself, take the course. Learn about IT security and about passwords. Make sure you change your passwords regularly. But make sure when you get that email from Unite Identity, you get your password so you can log into Umoja in 10 days. That's really important. If you haven't done that, please do so later today. So with that, thank you again. I'm so grateful for being here, grateful for your work. I'm going to pass this to Momtaz.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ati, and welcome again, Karibu, in Nairobi. The presentation today, it will be not one way, but it will be two way. It will have some interactive, so the team will do a demo, and also throughout the session we will ask for a feedback from you. I hope we can manage within the 45 minutes that we have. So if we can start. Okay, I would like maybe just to set the scene on the Unite Service Desk. As Ati mentioned, it's a global service desk, and it consists of a team in different locations in Bangkok, Brindisi, Geneva, Nairobi, and New York. And this will be looking and working together as a one team. And the role here is to resolve all issues related to enterprise applications, Umoja, Inspira, Unite Connections, Docs, and others. The Unite Service Desk operation in Nairobi has started January this year, and we've been supporting Inspira, IDMS, and Umoja user access provisioning for UNSWA colleagues. Expanding scope is to include also the workflow management for financial accounting and source to acquire operations started in September 2014, a little bit earlier. June 1st will be the go live for us, supporting for all enterprise applications. In readiness for 1st June go live, the Unite Service Desk have empowered the team with several staff who have passed 17 LPEs, local process experts, spans all the major pillars of Umoja. The team has activated around 3,000 EIDMS accounts so far, and the desktop prerequisite for Umoja that's supporting the application Citrix client and under development and under deployment to all users in the compound and outside. The ACD stands for Automatic Call Distribution. This is the ability for from the user perspective to have one phone number and one extension, and wherever you are, the call will be routed to the open hub, so that from the user perspective, you don't feel that it is either it's Bangkok or Nairobi or in New York. It will be seamless to the users, and that will enable us also to log the number of calls which came to us, and also the how many minutes or how many seconds has the agents has taken to resolve the issue. Knowledge transfer to all Unit Service Desk agents is ongoing as a daily program, and iNeed has been in operation. I'm glad to say this, that the iNeed has been in operation in Nairobi for the last 4 years. Therefore, I don't expect any issues when it comes to the support in the United Service Desk. The availability of the service desk, this is the global map. So Bangkok mainly covering Asia, Geneva and Nairobi covering Europe and Africa. There is an overlap in the Middle East, but that's something which is we're working on with the other colleagues to support that. New York will be supporting Americas, and the support here will be 24/7, including weekends, holidays for critical issues. Working hour coinciding with hours of operation of duty station. Maybe here because the presentation will be done by the team, so I would like not to dominate the whole presentation. So I will ask James to start from here, and then he will end when he will do the ESS demo. James?
I think I pick it from where Mumtaz has left, and this should start from the contact to Unite Service Desk. Now, there are 3 options in getting contact to Unite Service Desk. One is through the online. The online one is at the unite.un.org ICT support. Actually, this one takes you to INEED self-service. So that's one way when you have an issue which you think ICTS should be informed or Unite Service Desk should be informed, you can either go through INEED self-service, and that can only be found using the unite.un.org. The second option is the use of email. We have a single point of contact using an email, and the email is esc.un.org. This also posts data directly to the agents of the Unite Service Desk. The third option is, of course, the use of the phone. This is a single point of contact based on the region. So we have either 33333 or 23333. This can be done either locally when you are within the complex, or it can be done from outside as the number is provided. Based on the timing, of course, it either comes to Nairobi or to Bangkok or to Geneva, and that's a single point of touch using the phone. How should we users get help? The first point where users are supposed to be getting help, other than the trainings, is the use of the training guide. we have job aids, we have simulations, and this will be shown as we proceed. Actually, these ones are usually found in ISIC under the Umoja site. All the informations are there. We have simulations, we have job aids, we have training guides. This is including other, if you cannot be able to get the information enough to sort out your problems, we can also, or you can also use your local process experts. These are already subject matter experts within your areas of responsibility, within your substantive offices. These are trained staff members who are knowledgeable about the functions which you are carrying out, and therefore they will be their first point of contact. If still that's not enough, then you could be able to raise a ticket or a service request to Unite Service Desk using the options which are already provided previously. That's the phone, the email, or the I Need self-service. We have the framework for the support for Umoja and Umoja-related applications. As indicated in the slide, we have Tier 0, Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Tier 0 is within the substantive office. Tier 0 is within your offices where you are supposed to be getting help. I know the Nairobi Deployment Group has tried to empower the staff members by having trainings, either as end users or as local process experts. So when you have an issue, you can either use training materials, you can use job aids, you can use communities of practice, you can use simulations, or you can get in touch with your local process experts. That's the first point of contact. If you are unable to resolve a problem, if it's a bit complicated, that's when you move to Tier 1. So Tier 1 is supposed to be at your second level, where you either escalate that particular request, because the request can either be software related, that's application related, or it can be technical. So Tier 1 is the second level of escalation. Tier 1 for Nairobi is the Unite Service Desk. And for globally, for the 4 hubs, definitely we have the same contacts in the 4 hubs. If an issue could not be solved at Tier 1 level, then we could ask the service desk either escalate it to Tier 2A, which is the Global Service Center. And this is only done after a consultation with LPs, and we are sure that it's either technical and therefore it requires further analysis, or optionally we can escalate it to Tier 2B. These are the process experts or the service provider of the relevant substantive offices. Over and above Tier 2 is Tier 3. Of course, this requires debugging, and more often it requires further analysis for either the application is not working or the report is not as required, and therefore requires further design before it's put into use. So that's the framework for the support of Moja and Umoja-related applications. We have a single sign-on. How do you get into Moja? How do you get into the enterprise applications? There's something we call EIDMS. This is an Enterprise Identity Management System. This is an application which tries to give a single sign-on for all the enterprise applications. So every staff member is advised that you need to activate your login credentials. Initially, when we activate the staff members, you receive an email from Unite Identity noreply.un.org. Please do not delete this email, because this is the gateway to accessing either Moja or Umoja-related applications. So if you could be able to see that, because I know majority of the staff members have been activated, please, this is the first point of getting yourself to use Umoja. Once you get this email, of course, there would be instructions there. The instruction is to go to the ADMS website and change the password. Once you change the password, you will be able to log in either to that ADMS, or you can use that same password and user ID provided to log into Moja dashboard. Which browsers are supported? We have Chrome, we have Mozilla, and we have IE version 10. This is already been pushed from the IT perspective, and they should be available on your desktops. However, if you get problems, definitely you have to go back to the 3 options of getting in touch with the United Service Desk. Forgetting password is another problem I think we have experienced, especially when users are going back to the system. When you set up your password initially, you are required to enter 3 challenge questions. If you know your IDMS ID, you know your 3 challenge questions, then you will be able to, using the idms.un.org, you'll be able to reset your password. So the most important thing here to underline is the 3 challenge questions which you are supposed to remember. I think this is everywhere, even UNFC uses the same. So if you could be able to remember the 3 challenge questions, our tickets for resetting password will be minimized. But still, United Service Desk is there to solve the resetting of password if you still can't remember your 3 challenge questions. How to log into Moja? The website for logging into Moja is login.umoja.un.org. What do you use to log into Moja? Your eADMS credentials. You'll be given access to the Umoja dashboard. However, once you get in, there will be another password for Umoja application itself based on your enterprise role. So those are the steps to log into Moja. For those ones who will be given roles within finance, HR, you log into Umoja ESC. For those ones who will be requisitioners and procurement officers, you log into Umoja portal. For self-service, you use Umoja portal, but that one will be able to show you in a short while. So that's the same thing. Now, the resources for Umoja. As I've said previously, you can either use umoja.un.org. I'll be showing you that. That's accessed through isic.un.umoja. Also, we have IND self-service and the training materials. So the first thing I would like to show you is the Umoja self-service. As I said, this is your ADMS account. So this is the Umoja dashboard. This is the first, immediately you log into Moja, that's what you are able to see. The most important bits which you need to understand here is the Umoja ECC. ECC stands for Enterprise Core Component. Actually, it has all the finance-related roles and HR. We have the Umoja portal for requisitioners or for HR, HCM, that's a supply chain. Also, the self-service will be accessed through Umoja portal. And then we have the Umoja BI. So those are the main 3 components of Umoja, and that's what you will be concentrating on. Then I will be able to show you about INID and the self-service and INID itself. So if, for now, if I want to log into Umoja, of course, you use that. And those, the ones who are using ECC are those ones who have been moved to finance and HR-related roles. Usually, this is the first point of contact with Umoja. And what we are doing as a service desk is to ensure that every staff member has the right browser and is able to launch Citrix client, because that's the interface to Umoja application. So this definitely gets you into Umoja itself. And for production, for those ones who have access to production, actually this is the first part you get. So that's the interface for Moja. For those ones who have been undergoing trainings, I think you've already seen this, and based on your role, you'll be able to execute all your transactions within this particular environment. Remember, I said what you see here is based on your role, which you have been mapped already within the enterprise. Now, this is not ECC. For one to get into ECC, for now, we are using the training environment, so I will show you how to do that. Employee self-service or manager self-service is an interface for all staff members. So once you log in, I've logged in as a supervisor, you'll be able, the first thing which you are exposed to is the work center and the user mapper. That's the first bit which you get. Basically, the user mapper shows you what you've been mapped to. And here we are talking about approvers within your areas of operation. So what you are seeing on the screen is the first screen which you are able to see. But basically what it shows, if you want to check your managers for time, using the drop down, for example, you pick time, you are able to see all your primary time managers and the alternate time managers. These are usually mapped based on your position and the organization management. If you want to see further information about payroll, remember, this is personal information. You are able to see all your data, bank data verification, payroll circle. So this is employee self-service. It shows you, basically, if you want to see your approvers for travel, basically it shows you your travel and shipment approving officer, travel claims process, and all that. As a staff member, if you like to raise your own maybe travel, time, you get yourself into employee self-service. So this window shows the status, personal information, entitlements, benefits and payments. And for time, I know you guys have been using e-leave and all that, so you click on time management, then create a leave request. This gives you the environment or the interface for creating your leave. Here is the calendar for the leave days you have taken or when you plan to take leave. Or you can be able to see the team calendar for all those ones whom you are working with when they are taking leave. You could be able to view your leave requests, and what we call absence balance is what is remaining for all the leaves which you are entitled. This can be sick leave, can be annual leave, and all that. So basically, that's the interface. I know we have focal points from different areas, different substantive offices, so you'll be walked through. But in a nutshell, that's what employee self-service is. So I'll stop here so that Penina can proceed with INIT.
For INIT self-service, this is the tool that we're going to be using to be able to log in our service requests to Unite Service Desk, and not only to Unite Service Desk, but also to the local service desk. INIT self-service is actually a service management system managing various types of services for facilities, supply, transportation, and all IT. And for UN headquarters and also for offices away from headquarters. This system is and will be deployed to all entities globally and is critical to support for Umoja and all other applications. This system leads to greater efficiencies in terms of faster delivery in terms of you actually connect online and you can actually be able to put in your service request online, real time. And it has more transparency because you'll be able to see the status of your service request at any one point in time. You can be able to see who is assigned to your service request. And also it gives the clients the ability to track their requests. Online, you can actually be able to see the status of your service request, who is it assigned to, and the group assigned to, and you can actually be able to query. So how to log into INET self-service? Based on what James has just taken you through, once you log into the Umoja dashboard, you can actually see there number 7 is actually INET self-service. To log into INET self-service, you need to use your Unite identity credentials, that is your EIDMS password. Once you log into INET self-service, this is the homepage that you get, and on your left is the dashboard. And within the dashboard, you can actually be able to raise a service request. You can be able to manage approvals. There's a knowledge base. And right after that, at the top, you can actually see the billboard. At the billboard, this is where you're able to see the updates of your service request. You can actually see updates of any service request that you have raised for the last 7 days. These updates will tell you exactly when it was updated or what exactly kind of an update it is. And down there, you can actually be able to see the service request historical list view. So this actually lists all the service requests that you have raised in service desk, either via phone, email, or even this online portal. You'll be able to see all the service requests. You can actually see the title. You'll be able to see the status. You'll be able to see the category and when the last update was done. So it actually empowers you to be able to see what are all the service requests that you have logged in. You don't have to call the service desk to find out where is my service request. You just need to log in and check the status. So when you go to on the dashboard, you can actually be able to see this particular icon there, which says for raise a request. So this is where you click the first time for you to be able to raise a service request. Now, once you click on raise a service request, how do you go about this? The first thing you can actually do here, you can actually search the catalog to be able to see, based on the type of request that you have, you can just put in something in the search and can be able to derive for you where the item you're looking for is. However, we have various types of catalogs. If you can just look at this down here, we have various types of catalogs. We have the enterprise applications catalog, but our main focus is actually on the Umoja catalog and also the UNON ICTS catalog. So for the Umoja catalog, if you have an issue, for example, you have an issue with your HR time management, you just go in straight to the HR, and you can actually once you click on the HR, it actually opens for you all the items under HR. For example, you can see under HR here, we have the benefits, we have entitlement, we have personnel and personnel consultants, etc. So all you need is actually to click on the plus button for the request that you are referring to, and it will actually be added as one of your requested items. So if you can see there, for example, here we have actually ticked on time management. You can actually see time management is on the extreme right. So it actually, and if you have any other requests, you can actually go in. Maybe you have another issue with your grants management. You can click on grants management, click on it, and actually be able to add it there. And you can raise as many issues that you have as possible within even one service request. So once you do that, then you just be able to click next. Once you click next, it will be able to take you to the next. However, before we go to the next, there's the UNON ICTS catalog. Just to expound on these two catalogs, the Umoja catalog focuses on the enterprise applications, all the Umoja pillars. However, the UNON ICTS catalog has other issues that you may have other than the enterprise applications. For example, you have an issue with your network. For example, you have an issue with your email services. that is when you will come to the UNON ICTS catalog. Like you can actually see, it has the components of hardware services, it has IP telephony, internet services. You have issues with all those, you go to the UNON ICTS catalog. Issues with the Umoja, you go to the Umoja catalog, okay? Then after that, when you click on next, now you're able to actually enter the details of your requests. The first thing you do is actually enter the summary of your service request. What is the title of your service request? For example, Umoja access. I'm not able to access to the Umoja dashboard. Then down there, number 2, you put the description of your service request, and we are encouraging users to be as descriptive as possible so that we can be able to derive exactly what your problem is or the issue that you're having. You can also actually attach a document to the service request, and you can actually see there number 3, alert me by email when an update is done. So when you tick on this one, by default it's ticked, but that means that you want any update that is done on your service request, you are able to be notified via email. That way you don't need to again to call the services to find out, because you already have the updates on your inbox. Of course, by default, it picks the contact details of the person who is logged in. And in case, you can actually even put in, if you want to report on behalf of somebody else, you can actually put those contacts. After that, you just submit. Once you submit, this request, when it's submitted, it will actually now appear under My Service Request section. So it will actually appear down here, and you'll be able to see even who is assigned to your service request. And if you want to see details of that service request, you go in and drill down on this request and on this link, and you'll be able to see the details of your service request. So how do you drill down to view more details of your service request? So once you actually click on the link that I've just showed you earlier, it will actually bring you to this screen, whereby you can actually be able to see this is the SR identifier. This means is that a ticket ID for your request. You can actually be able to see when it was opened, the date, who reported the issue, and or was it requested for by somebody else, and you can actually be able to see the group that is assigned to. So if you want to query the system to be able to add comments, you just click on add over here, and you can actually be able to put your comments. You can ask a question, you can be able to, it allows you to be more interactive. And also, if there are any work orders for this service request, if you click on here, you'll be able to see all the work orders. So now, how do we prioritize our calls? We have a target response, and we have the resolution times. So the main priorities actually listed here. We have the critical, high, medium, and low. And the target response time for critical is 1 hour. The target resolution time is 24 hours. However, this is the minimum. This is actually the maximum time. However, this means that it can even be resolved within seconds, within 1 minute. So when it's critical, I just want to highlight, when do we say that a service request is critical? It is actually critical if there is a significant risk of mission failure, or, for example, the impact on the business is very high, it's actually causing financial loss, or it's causing even negative public relations for the UN. That is when we actually categorize it as critical. For example, when Umoja is not available for UNEP, UNON, Habitat, and all, I mean, that is very critical. It is actually high when it's still affecting several business processes. However, there's a short-term workaround for that. That's when you put it as high. And also it's medium when there is a business process that is not executed well, and there's a long-term work around it. It's also low when it's only affecting one user and the impact on the performance or the quality of service is low. So how do you escalate your issues? For example, you have logged in a service request, it has taken longer than you expected, you have tried to, so this happens sometimes. So how do you escalate? I Need Self-Service gives you that functionality. You just go in and press on, click on Escalate Service Request, and it will actually be able to alert the service desk manager. At the same time, it's also going to alert the service desk agent who is assigned to the service request. Okay. Now, As we said, there are 3 ways of putting in your service requests, and one of them is the phone, the 33333, and when we use this, it actually prompts the caller to choose whether English or French. I think for the hub that handles French is Geneva, but when you press 1, it actually takes you to the Umoja United Service Desk. If you press 2, it will take you to the local service desk. So I just need to do just a small demo on the phone.
I think we can skip this. They can demo it when they go back to the office.
Okay, all right. Okay. So now we have the top issues which James will take you through.
The top issues which you need to know when Umoja goes live is that the first week there will be no annual leave in Umoja. This is because as we speak right now, IMS accrual leave for May has not been done yet. So we have to wait, we do it, then after accruing, that's when we upload to Moja. That will be the first week of June. So from around 6th, I think you should be able to get your annual leave balance in Umoja. After that, the IC teams will need to run the IMS, that's I've already said. So if you need to take leave between now and 4th of June, you have to use blackout forms, and then there will be an entry to this application which you have been using, that's e-leave, after which we'll have to upload information to IMIS, and then it will be available in Umoja in the second week of June. Now, I have to repeat again the critical things to remember. The Unite Identity Login Credentials, this is a must. It's not an option, you have to remember this for you to be able to use Umoja, either as a self-service or as a role assigned to you. Then also, we have the Umoja production system password. This shall be provided 2 days to go live. So make sure you also remember that password. How to access materials, we said you can use Umoja. And in Umoja, we have simulations are there, we have job aids, we have level 1, level 2 training materials, they are there. You can still use your LPEs. Then how do you contact the service desk? We have said you can either use I need self-service, or you can use ESC, or you can use the telephone number. Please, these are important things to remember because it will make us deploy and start using Umoja honestly. And I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, James and Benina, for putting this together. Now we stop here. I'll open the floor for if you have any questions. If there is no questions, I would be asking you, so. Yeah, at the end.
Are you planning to have Safari as an alternative browser, given that some of us are most of the time on the road and use, iOS devices? Thank you.
Safari can be used, however, it's not one of the standard browsers for the UN. It has not been well tested. However, we've tried to use it. It's still, you can be able to launch Umoja applications using that.
Okay, I have a question to you, maybe until you refresh, if you have any other questions. I would like maybe to know who have activated his EIDMS account. So if you can raise your hands. Higher? Okay, that's good. Okay, and who did not? Don't be shy, because I know you. Okay, fine. So please, activate your accounts, respond to the emails, activate the accounts, because that will save you time before you start going to Umoja. The user accounts and the password for Umoja will be activated during the first week of Go Live. So first do the EIDMS, and then the first week of June you will receive the production environment access. Yes, please. I think the policy for the EIDMS is 180 days. The aim that we have is to reduce the number of two authentication, which is EIDMS and Umoja, and to have one username and password. So hopefully when, by the time cluster 4 comes, we will have one username and password for Umoja and EIDMS. Thank you. Yeah, Ati?
I learned a few things just watching that great presentation. So thank you. Just want to comment on technical comment. Umoja, you can't access Umoja using your mobile device because it just works on one browser. Although you can access EIDMS on many, but just be very clear, it's not going to happen this year. Maybe next year we can talk about it, but it only works on IE. So that's just one technical clarification. Other systems do work, and there's going to be lots of mobile apps coming your way because we fully get the mobility. I mean, you guys need to be able to access the systems remotely and using your mobile app. So that's on the works, but Umoja right now is doesn't work with any of the Apple devices, doesn't work with any of those browsers. I just want to thank the team again because I think you guys done truly an amazing job. We're going to learn a lot from Cluster 3 before Cluster 4, which is a huge deployment. So please share your knowledge and your pain with Momtaz and the team. And it's going to be extremely successful. Bear with us, you know, the first few months going to be painful, right? You're going to log into self-service and you may not find some information that you need to find. It's all normal, it's part of kind of learning curve and growing pains, but the system will stabilize itself and would work well. So thank you again, and we're here to help you and support you through the process.
Yeah, thank you, Ati, for your comments, and I would like to thank the colleagues for making the time to come to for this meeting. The Nairobi deployment group will continue to outreach to the clients as we approach the go live. So you will expect more to come from them. Thank you very much.
Just one point, we will circulate information. There's a 2-pager with all the details that Momtaz's team have presented, including exactly how you get support and also the steps towards activating your EIDMS. There's a 2-pager we touched on last week, and it'll be sent out today by the Nairobi Deployment Group. Thank you.